In a bustling and noisy city, there was a 16-year-old boy named Kai. Kai grew up in a broken home. His father was an alcoholic who would often yell at him and his mother when he was drunk, and sometimes, he would even get violent. Kai's mother, worn down by the weight of life, had long lost her smile. There was no warmth in their home, no laughter, only endless arguments and silence. Gradually, Kai and his mother's communication became scarce. Kai learned early on that if he wanted to change his fate, he had to rely on himself. Kai's school life wasn't much better. His grades were average, and because of his family's situation, he found it hard to focus on his studies. Some of his classmates, from wealthy families, looked down on him, while others, like him, from struggling families, often ended up on the streets, joining various small gangs. Kai didn't want to become like them, but reality kept pushing him toward that path. One day, as Kai was wandering aimlessly on the streets after school, he noticed an old auto repair shop. The sign hanging above the door was rusty, and it read, "Ah Shan's Auto Shop." Kai had been interested in mechanics and tools when he was younger, so he mustered up the courage to walk in. Inside, he saw an elderly man with gray hair working on an old motorcycle. The man saw Kai and smiled, asking, "Hey, kid, what can I do for you?" Kai felt a bit embarrassed but managed to say, I want to learn how to fix cars. Is that okay?" The old man looked him over for a moment, then replied calmly, "If you're willing to work hard, you can give it a try." From that day on, Kai would go to Ah Shan's auto shop every day after school to learn. At first, he only cleaned tools and tidied up the shop, but he never complained. As time passed, the old man began teaching him how to take apart and reassemble parts and how to repair engines. Kai had a natural instinct for mechanics, and the old man was impressed by his progress, growing more and more confident in him. However, the journey wasn't without its challenges. While Kai was working at the shop, his father, due to his long-term alcoholism, was hospitalized with liver disease. The high medical bills put an even greater strain on their already tight finances. Kai knew his mother could no longer bear this burden alone. He decided to work even harder, saving every penny he earned to send home. A few months later, Kai was already able to repair small vehicle problems on his own. Seeing Kai's dedication and talent, the old man decided to involve him in more complex projects. Together, they restored a vintage car that had been abandoned for years. It was a huge challenge, but Kai succeeded in the end. That car became a symbol of his life. Even if it's broken, it could be put back together and come to life again. But just as Kai's skills improved and the shop's business started to pick up, tragedy struck. The old man, Shan, suffered a heart attack and passed away. Kai was overwhelmed with grief. He had not only lost a mentor but also someone who had become like a father to him. To make things worse, without Shan to run it, the auto shop was on the brink of closing down. Some of the kids from the gangs approached Kai again, knowing about his situation. They tried to recruit him, promising quick money if he agreed to help them. Kai struggled with the temptation for a long time. He knew that if he chose that path, he might end up like those kids who roamed the streets, trapped in poverty. In the end, he refused their offer, deciding to take on the responsibility of running the auto shop alone. Kai started from scratch, finding suppliers, reaching out to customers, and learning how to manage a business. He worked on cars during the day and studied business management at night. Slowly, his hard work paid off. Former customers began to return, and his reputation started to spread in the community. Even his classmates, who used to look down on him, began to see him in a new light. Years went by, and Kai eventually expanded the shop into a reputable auto repair company. He hired a few mechanics and even started an apprenticeship program to help other kids like him learn a trade. Kai understood that while the journey was tough, only through his own efforts could he truly change his fate. Standing outside his auto shop, Kai watched the young apprentices working hard. Hope filled his heart. He knew that no matter how broken one's family background was or how difficult life seemed, with hard work, anyone could carve out their own path. Although Kai had successfully built his repair business, new challenges continued to emerge. A few years later, the city's economy changed dramatically. Major car repair chains began opening branches in the neighborhood, putting enormous pressure on Kai's business. These chains not only had financial backing but also advanced equipment and marketing strategies, causing Kai to gradually lose customers. Faced with this challenge, Kai knew he couldn't rely solely on traditional mechanical skills to keep his business afloat. He had to upgrade his skills and adapt his business model to survive in the rapidly changing market. So, he decided to learn new technologies and explore how to modernize his business. Kai invested a portion of his savings in taking some automotive electronics repair courses, both online and offline. He understood that with cars becoming more and more high-tech, anyone who didn't know how to fix electric vehicles and complex electronic systems would soon be left behind. During his studies, he met an instructor named Lena. Lena was an experienced electric vehicle engineer, and she took a particular interest in Kai, who showed such enthusiasm. After the course ended, Lena invited Kai to join a startup she had founded. The company focused on developing advanced diagnostic equipment and technical support platforms for the automotive industry. Kai realized this was a rare opportunity. He could learn advanced skills at the company and bring that knowledge back to his shop to revitalize it. Kai began splitting his time between working at his shop and helping out at Lena's company. His workload nearly doubled, but he didn't feel tired. Instead, he felt motivated every day. As Kai mastered new technologies, he started introducing new diagnostic equipment and smart repair systems at his shop, which gradually attracted back his customer base, including electric vehicle owners. As Kai's business grew again, his family issues resurfaced. His mother's health was deteriorating, and his father's hospital bills continued to rise. Despite his increased income, he still couldn't fully cover the expenses. Lena, aware of Kai's struggles, collaborated with some of her company's partners to launch a community support program to help talented young entrepreneurs facing financial difficulties like Kai. Deeply touched by Lena's support, Kai decided not to be just a passive recipient of help but to actively participate in the program. He began organizing youth in the community, teaching them automotive repair skills and electric vehicle technologies. Kai wanted to use his experience and skills to help others, ensuring they didn't end up trapped by their circumstances like he once was. During this time, Kai met a group of young people who, like him, were on the brink of poverty. Some had been gang members, while others were homeless, but Kai welcomed them all into his shop. He taught them not only car repair skills but also business management and how to face life's challenges. Gradually, these kids transformed, from street gang members to hard-working apprentices, and eventually to skilled technicians who found their place in society. A few years later, Kai's auto repair business grew into a chain specializing in electric and smart vehicle diagnostics and repair. He was no longer the boy trapped in a broken family with no way out. He was now a successful entrepreneur and a role model in the community. Kai's story was not just a tale of personal struggle and triumph but a journey of community transformation. In the end, Kai named his auto shop, Shan's Auto Shop, in memory of the man who had once helped change his life. He hoped that every young person who walked through its doors could, like him, find hope and the strength to change their fate.